Okay, cool, guys. So we'll start now. Uh, Welcome to this session. It's on minors offered at BITS-Pilani Goa campus. It's organized by PMP. So basically, in this session, we've brought in a panelist with a lot of people doing different minors, and they're going to talk about their experience getting the minor, what they're currently doing with their minor, as in their PS2 and all, and what their future prospects are. So, for the first 10-15 minutes or so, we'll have like a brief degree planning session where we'll tell you how to accommodate the minor and all of its requirements with your current degree planning. And then we'll bring in the panelists one by one and they'll give you specific details about the minors. So, stay tuned for that. Okay, so this is something that you guys should know by now. We've covered this in previous sessions, and you guys are in second year, anyways. So, for completing your degree, you need to complete all of these requirements no matter what. So, you have your CDCs, which are compulsory, and there isn't a lot of flexibility regarding them. But with HELS, DELS, and OPELs, you can choose which ones you want to do and when you want to do them, as long as you satisfy this criteria. So, it's all given here. HELS are, of course, your humanity electives. DELs are your disciplinary electives. So they, like if you're an eco student, then all of your DELs will be related to economics and so on. And OPELs are your open electives. So you can choose whichever you want. They can be humanities related, they can be related to any other course. That's completely up to you. Okay, so these are the requirements for your regular degree. So we'll just brush up on the topic of slots and maxing out. So this is taken from some timetable, I think Eco plus CS. And these are basically all of the CDCs that you have to do in that semester. So if you total all the credits, you come up with 21 credits. So your CDCs account for 21 credits. Now we know that in one semester, the maximum amount of credits you can do is 25. So basically in that semester, you have one free slot, aka you can take one extra course. This course could be a HEL, it could be a DEL, OPEL, whatever, or you could use that one free slot to satisfy your minor requirements. Similarly, in this picture over here, you see we have 12 credits worth of CDCs, so that leaves you with 4 free slots. So maxing out a semester basically means when you fill up your semester, so you have 0 empty slots. So for example, in the first case, I would take one HEL. So then that would mean I'm maxing out my semester and I have 0 empty slots. So that's the basic concept. Now that we've gotten all of this out of the way, we move on to minors. So for all minors, you need to complete minimum 5 courses. The exception to this is the PEP minor, which is philosophy, economics, and pol science. This one needs 6 courses to complete. So for single degree students, you can complete all 5 as OPELs or in your free slots. So the concept of minors was introduced because of single degree students. So instead of them doing 5 completely random OPELs, 5 like unrelated OPELs, they can kind of choose 5 OPELs in a way that they're all related. So they end up like getting another degree out of it. So it's just better utilization of their OPELs. So this is what single degree students can do. But because dual degree students, they don't have any OPELs and they have very limited free slots, dual degree students cannot do a minor without taking a summer term. So there are only 2 exceptions: CS students pursuing a data science minor and math students pursuing a data science minor. Other than this, all dual degree students, they need to take a summer term if they want to get their minor. And then we know that eco students can't pursue a finance minor, physics students can't pursue a physics minor, so on, so on. So this is like some basic information. So what is summer term? So in a summer term, you can do maximum of 9 credits, which means 3 courses. The fees is around 80 to 85K. It's like 35% of the semester tuition fee. So this time it's 80 to 85. Other than that, you also have to register for the minor. So that would be around 30K. So in total, this amount is what you pay. And also, not all courses are offered in the summer term. Like even in your usual semester, not all courses are offered. In summer term, it's even more limited. So before you opt for summer term, before you opt for minor, before you plan your degree, you need to make sure the courses you want to be offered are actually offered. Like a lot of finance courses are offered in summer term, but there aren't that many data science courses being offered because it's like a newer degree. So you need to check and you need to make sure. And also, summer term isn't always in Goa campus. It actually rotates between the 3 campuses. So last time it was in Hyderabad, and this time it will be in Goa. So just keep that in mind also. Okay, so I'll just talk about summer term for dualites and the pros and cons, because I've already mentioned single degree students don't need to take a summer term. So your first summer, it's just for fun. Like there isn't anything there. Second summer, you need to do PS1. Now, PS1 isn't compulsory, but it is a prereq for PS2. So without doing PS1, you absolutely cannot do PS2. You need to do your thesis. So if you're thinking of skipping PS1, just keep that in mind that it is a prereq for PS2. So mostly a summer 2 will go doing your PS1. And also, we will be keeping a separate session on PS1. We'll have a similar panel with a lot of people who've done their PS1 from a variety of places. So we'll do that also for you guys. Then we come to summer 3. Now, this summer is free for dualites. Single degree students, they'll have their SIPs in this summer, but dualites, they have that in their 4th summer. So dualites usually like they'll study for their SIPs, they can do internships, other opportunities, but the college isn't organizing anything for them. So this is usually when dualites do their summer term to complete their minor requirements. So I'll just give you an example of how your degree planning would look like if you were a dualite looking to get a minor. So let's say I am an eco student and I want to complete a data science minor, right? So usually in your second year as a dualite, you can't really take any minor courses. Like you do have free slots, but the admin is a bit iffy about it, and it's very dependent on them, and it's not something you can bank on. So keep that in mind. Second year, you usually can't pursue your minor as a dualite. In 3-1, you won't really have any slots. Like dualites don't have slots in 3-1. In 3-2, you'll have 1 slot. So if I have to complete 5 courses for my data science minor, I'll do 1 course in 3-2. I'll do 3 courses in the summer term, and I'll do 1 course in 4-1. So I'll have finished my data science minor by 4-1. And then if I want to sit for data science PS2, I can do that in 5-1. So another thing I want to mention is this isn't a hard and fast rule, but it's something to keep in mind. If you are a single degree student, you want to complete all of your minor requirements by 3-1. And if you are a dual degree student, you want to complete all your minor requirements by 4-1. So like, for example, with a finance minor, a lot of people, they want to sit for finance PS2 in their 4-1 if you're a single degree student, right? So the thing is, your offshoot will be counted till 3-1. Now you might be wondering what an offshoot is. We have a lot of panelists for finance, and I think it applies to data science also. So they'll be talking about it there. But basically, your offshoot is like your score for all the finance courses you did, right? And this is the score that companies will look at when they come for your PS2. So if this score is only counted up until 3-1, if you do any finance course in 3-2, it won't be counted. This is if you're sitting for PS2 in 4-1. So just keep this in mind. Just so that you don't limit yourself or you don't box yourself in, like try to complete all of your minor requirements as soon as you can. Don't leave anything till the end, because then you might not be able to sit for example, finance PS2 or data science PS2 in 4-1 or 5-1 respectively if you're a dualite. So like we'll get into all of those specifics in the finance with the finance panelists and all that. Just something to keep in mind. So also previously I mentioned that the only dualites who can do a minor without taking a summer term are maths and CS students. I don't mean math plus CS. It can be math plus anything. It can be CS plus anything. These are the only 2. Okay. And I'll just explain the reason briefly over here. So all of this is taken from the academic bulletin. By the way, you can find all of the requirements over there. So basically it says at most 2 courses of the above requirement. The above requirement is this, may be met by mandatory courses of the student's degree. So what this means is, so basically if you look over here for the minor in data science, you have a lot of electives and they're mostly CS and math based electives, right? So as a math student, I have to do math courses to satisfy my DEL requirements. But I also need to do some math courses to satisfy my data science minor requirements. So there is some overlap, but this clause says that overlap can only be of 2 courses. So basically what this means is your 2 courses can overlap. So effectively, if I'm doing a data science minor, instead of doing 5 courses, I really need to do 3 courses because 2 of them are just from my automatic math degree. So I can do, out of those 3 courses I have to do, 1 I can do in my 3-2 and 2 I can do in my 4-1. So that kind of removes the need for summer term for me. So I don't need to do that at all. So this only applies for math students and CS students. But the overlap concept applies to all students. Like for example, if you're an eco student and you're trying to do your data science minor, like this course optimization, it's a del for eco students. So this course can count as the overlap. They won't have to do it again. So effectively for the data science minor, they only need to do 4 courses because they've already done optimization for their eco requirements. So this is just something to keep in mind. So yeah, this was the basics on degree planning, like the structure of what your years will look like if you're trying to complete a minor. So if you have any doubts, keep putting them in the chat box. We'll keep answering them there. And at the end, we will have a doubt clearing session where we'll club all the doubts together and answer them all at once. And one more thing, I just wanted to talk about reverse minors for a second. Basically, reverse minor is the concept where if you don't get the minor for any reason, a lot of people, they'll do all of the courses in their OPELs or in their free slots, whatever. And at the end, they'll ask for the minor. They'll tell the college, okay, we've done all the courses, give us the minor. I just want to say that this is not something you should be banking on. Don't count on the reverse minor at all. Like the college doesn't really give it. So if you're thinking about doing a minor, this shouldn't be your backup plan. This shouldn't really be your plan at all because it's not something you can back on. It's not something that's in any bulletin or anywhere. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so
Can I get a second?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. If you have any doubts regarding anything called as reverse minor, there is no such concept like called a reverse minor. So, if you have heard anything of that sort, whether you can complete courses and get a degree, don't count on it. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so guys, just keep that in mind when you're deciding if you want to do a minor or not. When you're planning out your courses, just remember that. So yeah, we'll move on to the physics minor now. So we have these panelists. Hopefully there's enough variety for you, and they'll talk about the physics minor and how that works. So I'll pass it on to Rachit. He'll share his screen and he'll tell you all about it.
Okay, then thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can see me, and I will start presenting my screen. So I had done a physics minor, and I had started fairly late. So just a bit of advice, I guess. Everyone would have received a mail from, I think, the physics HOD like a quantum mechanics one. You can take in 3. Okay. Let's see. I might have a bad connection actually. Okay. I guess I'll just I think mute my video because that way I think you can just hear me clearly. What's important. Yeah. So I was just telling that you guys would have received a mail from the physics HOD that if you want to take a physics minor, then you should probably register for a quantum mechanics one in your 2-2, so that you can register for StatMech, which is the a course that you need to take as a core course, and that has QM1 as a prereq. So that way you keep that in mind. So you have to really commit to it from 2-2 itself. Then EMT electromagnetic theory 1. So for all the students who are in the Phoenix branches, Triple E, EC, ENI, you would have already done this in your 2-1. So that way you can take as a common course with your major and minor. For them, it's a bit easier. Others might have to probably do it in your 3-1, and because it's only offered in the odd sems, so you have to make sure there's an open slot, because then you'll have two courses for non-Phoenix students. You'll have to take StatMech and EMT in your 3-1. So accordingly, you have to balance with your Dells and all the other things. Then coming to the electives, I had taken astronomy and astrophysics, and I had taken laser science and technology. So laser science and technology was a fairly straightforward course. It is very information heavy, but the teacher is really nice. He gives really good slides and notes after the class. So it was really easy for me for doing that course, and it was a really interesting course if you're into lasers and if you want to learn more about it. But I don't think he's taking that anymore. He's taking lasers and applications or something related to optics. I'm not sure if that is there in this list, but not the course optics. He's taking something else. But yeah, he does take one more course on lasers now, so you can always have a look there. And astronomy and astrophysics, TK Jha takes this course. One second. TK Jha takes this course, and it's a really interesting course. Like you start off with basic, positioning and how you see things in the sky, and then you go to the sun and the solar system and everything. So it's a nice course. A lot of people take this course, even if the people are not doing physics minor, they take this course. So 1 second. I think I'm misplaced. Yeah. Apart from that, from what I've heard, I've not taken the courses. I have heard that NLD, Gaurav Darsar takes it. He teaches very well. So you can always take nonlinear dynamics and chaos. I think QIC and quantum information theory, Ayushi would have a better idea on those topics. TOR is also a topic that I've heard a lot about, that it's really good course. So you can take theory of relativity is also there. Then physics of semiconductor devices, a course which is basically, if you have done your 2-1, it is a bit of a more theoretical portion of electronic devices. So the people who are interested in core electronics can always take that. It'll be easier for them. Anything else? I think I'll hand it over to Aeishna and Ayushi. They can tell about their bit, and then we can take doubts.
Hi everyone. Rachit, if you could keep presenting, that would be good.
Sure, no problem.
So just to add on to what Rachit said, yeah. So at the beginning, he talked about how you need to schedule your QM1 and StatMech. So the main problem here is that quantum mechanics 1 is a prerequisite for StatMech, and QM1 is only offered in the even sems. It's only offered in the second sem, and StatMech is only offered in the odd sems. It's only offered in the first sem. So either you do QM1 in 2-2 and StatMech in either 3-1 or 4-1, or you do QM1 late, which is in 3-2. So then you have to do StatMech only in 4-1. So this would mean that you can't go for a PS or a thesis in the first sem. You need to be on campus for StatMech in the first sem of your fourth year. And that's why it's recommended that you finish off QM1 as soon as possible so that you're not like backed into a corner. I think all of us, Rachit, Aeishna, and myself, all of us did StatMech in 4-1. We did it pretty late. So we will all be going for PS or thesis next time. And why this matters for most people is that if you want to do a master's, and you're doing a thesis, then you will get that thesis in your resume if you do it in your first sem, 4-1. But if you wait and you do it in your 4-2, then for your MS, you won't be able to add your thesis onto your resume. So you need to, like, when you do QM1, will kind of decide your resume for your master's. So that's like the domino effect. So you need to think about whether you feel like your resume is strong enough and you want to wait, or if you want to finish it off ASAP. So if you're thinking about a physics minor and you want to do a thesis or a PS and you want to make sure that counts for your master's or PhD applications, try to do it ASAP so that you're not like backed into doing thesis in sem 2 and you're missing out on like one big entry for your MS. So like if you have a thesis, that counts for a lot for your MS applications. So this is like a pretty big factor, and that's why it's stressed a lot every year. So think about it. I hope I didn't confuse you guys. If you have any questions about this, just uh, put it in the chat or we'll take it later. So yeah, this is the biggest thing with physics minor. Other than that, Rachit covered the DELs pretty well. I don't know that much about all of them. I know about QIC and QIT. Those are the two DELs that I used to complete my minor. QIC is like it's a very interesting course, but it's also a little heavy in the sense that there'll be assignments that you need to do a fair bit of research and work to complete. But they're like the learning outcomes of the entire course are really good. Like I chose quantum computing as my career field because it's that interesting. I've applied to positions in QIC. So as a field and as a subject, it's super interesting. It's not as physicsy as you might think. It's also a CS DEL. So you see that a lot of CS students end up taking it. So I'd highly recommend it if you're willing to put in a little bit of work. QIT is a little more theoretical. We're working to make it a CS DEL, but I don't know if that's happening. It's like part 2 of QIC. There isn't as much coding, but it is still pretty, like there are a lot of protocols, there's error correction, communication protocols, that kind of stuff. So it's still like fairly in the range of like information theory. Again, it's like part 2 of QIC. The other DELs that it's covered, and yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Oh yeah, so like why should you do a physics minor? I did it because I was into quantum computing and I just wanted like some formal association of physics with my profile. Since I'm a single degree CS student, I just wanted to like be a physics student formally, again, to kind of look good on applications and stuff. But I was also really interested in JE physics. I know some people had this question. So yeah, it does kind of translate that interest. It runs along the same vein, but of course it's way more complicated. So yeah, you could just do it for fun. I know seniors who have just taken it and they're like software engineers. So yeah, Aeishna, do you have anything to add?
Thanks, Ayushi. You guys can hear me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, these guys covered a lot of information. Again, I chose physics minor because I was interested in physics since JE. So yeah, if you were interested in JE physics, I think you will enjoy doing a physics minor. And I also wanted career options that are kind of in a CS physics intersection type thing. So I am not currently planning to pursue any physics related career options right now, but I might be doing that later. So I've kept my options open basically with the physics minor. Secondly, I think the constraints were already covered. The electives that I did for my minor were QIC and NLD. QIC Ayushi already covered. NLD I would highly recommend it to anybody who's doing a physics minor. Honestly, anyone. Like NLD is a subject that can be relevant to any department. So anybody who needs to do an elective can do NLD. It's a very well taught course by Gaurav Dar, and it's pretty interesting. The grading is also decent, so I think it's a great. One important thing I'd like to mention is that physics SOPs do not count towards the minor. I found out the hard way because I've registered for the minor and registered for the SOP and then found out that it doesn't count. So there's that. I know someone was asking about SOPs as an elective course. That doesn't count, right? And another thing that I wanted to add was that if, like, depending on which major you come from, physics subjects can be slightly jarring. Like they involve a lot of like long, complicated formulas, equations, derivations, and things like that. As a CS student, I was like a little confused in the beginning with how like conceptually heavy physics subjects were, and like it takes some like work to kind of wrap your head around some subjects such as StatMech and QM1. I think EMT1 was almost entirely JE physics, so that is one thing. It's like not too difficult. But yeah, I think that's all I had to say. I think we can take doubts now.
I think I had one more thing to add actually.
Mhm.
Coming to QM1 and StatMech, one thing I would suggest is if you have friends in MSc Physics, it's better you just ask them about some concepts in classical mechanics if you don't want to take the course as an elective. I think some concepts like Lagrange multiplier and all of that, they're heavily used in the two courses, which are your core courses. So maybe just ask them, where I can read up these topics. There are just few tools that are required from classical mechanics that are going to be used in QM1 and StatMech. So that'll really help you to really understand the concepts of all the questions that are involved in there.
I think the QM1 prof also covers them in like very briefly in the beginning of the course, especially for minor students and students who haven't done classical mechanics. Um, yeah, I think somebody was asking about the CG requirement for physics minor.
I don't think there as such, like nobody's really
Yeah.
competing for it. Most people really compete for DS and Fin minor. So most people just keep it as a safe option if you just want to do a minor and not really interested about the subject. So I don't think there's any CG cutoff for physics.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think I read somewhere that it was 7+, but like, don't quote me on that. Yeah. No.
I think every year, like 4 or 5 people apply and everyone gets it. So,
Yeah.
like
No,
our year, only 4 people applied in 2019.
no, there are more people. I think if you know there was Paras, and I think there were a few more people who had done it actually.
Paras got it.
Yeah. So I think I know 2 or 3 more people. I think they had done QM1 in the 2-2 itself, so they were not as late as us.
Okay.
So they finished it off in 3-1 itself. Okay, concepts you
Ujjwal,
said
are
to
you
do
asking
early.
about the courses?
Or the
Are you talking
classical
about the
mechanics.
course scheduling? Ujjwal?
Okay, yeah, that's basically topics in classical mechanics. So yeah, Lagrange multiplier is basically tools. They're basically tools. Like in EMT also, you learn mathematical tools. So when you do EMT, you learn all of those. You can revise M1 maybe in your vacation when you're doing it or something to help you, because there's a lot of calculus that is involved in the calculations. So yeah, those concepts you can just revise maybe.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, like, suppose I want to take QIC before being formally allotted the minor, like in 2-2. So does that count towards the minor?
Yeah,
Like,
it does.
Yes,
okay.
it does.
So there is no um, um, um,
The
prereq for that, right?
no
No, QIC
for QIC.
doesn't have a prereq.
QIC.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
For CG cutoffs, it's basically the 2-1 CG that's counted because they are allotted in 2-2. So the 2-1 CG will be counted for the cutoff. And anything else? So when do you have to take minor? Like for physics, you start working for your minor in 2-1 by taking QM1 at least. Other courses you can cover in your third year.
Yeah, into 2. Yeah. So like
Yeah, 2-2
in
credit, yeah.
registration, that's in a week. Yeah. If you're looking for a physics minor, take QM1, take QIC. I don't know where these. I think astronomy is being offered. I don't know what else. TOR or GTOR is being offered. Yeah, so try to take any dells that you're interested in. You can start working from your 2-2 and it will be counted.
I think you
Also
can
for
just have a
CS
look at
folks, actually I think this holds for all minors. You can overlap. So even though QIC, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you are audible.
Hello? Yeah. Okay. So I'm saying that even though you can take QIC as a physics del and a CS del, it can be an overlap. So people were asking this for DS. This holds for other minors as well. Even though like you might feel like physics and CS don't have much of an overlap, there are courses where it can be a del for both, like QIC. So you can like do both one student.
Okay, I think this sem, I think they're offering they have you have QM1, then you have astronomy and astrophysics, and then you have DOR and solid state physics. Then I think yeah, these and topics and nonlinear optics. Basically, that's the lasers course. Prasanda Anand takes it, so yeah, you can check the prereqs and take the course if you like.
Guys, this since this is a very general query, like to address it right away. So for the process of minor registration, there will be a form that will be floated in around the middle of your 2-2, where you can choose which minor to take from. But there are few courses which you can start taking into to itself during this registration to in order to start with the minor. Like for example, if you're planning on physics minor, as the panelists mentioned, you need to take QM1. Other than that, some courses like QIC also you can take right now, which will contribute to your physics minor. Okay, thank you.
Pulkit, you can take the course if you like. I know a few people who
Yes,
have
you
taken the
can
course.
opt for electives before you do the compulsory courses.
Yeah, coming to physics and semiconductor devices, yeah, it's
And
high
Pulkit,
credit, so you can take it.
yeah.
There's no, it's. I don't think it's only for master students. It's not like that, and
Can
it's
we
four
opt?
actually. It's not five.
Okay, there is one question from the form. Can we opt for electives before completing the three compulsory courses?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can. You don't need to do it in any order unless there's a prereq. So within the three compulsory, you have to do QM1 before StatMech. They won't let you register. But otherwise, there's no order. Like you can take QIC before you do QM1 or anything. That's completely fine.
Like even if you register, they'll just dereg you in the later half, and you won't even get to know they did it. So it's better not to.
Okay, there's one more question from the form. I'm putting it in the chat too.
Joel, there's a document.
Yeah, I think these guys have shared it. I think it's been floating around a lot, so you can always have a look. Okay.
Joel, there's a PDF that gets floated around, and also I think on ERP you can click on the course details and it will list the prerequisite courses. ERP should have these details.
Yash, I think like yeah, I said that I did this minor on the basis of J physics interest, and I enjoyed it. So I feel like other people can also, and like there's some overlap in the contents, especially in the compulsory subjects. Like for example, EMT1 is almost completely J physics. Does that answer your question?
Any other questions, guys, regarding the schedule, the courses?
I just want to reiterate why the QM1 StatMech thing is important. If you don't do QM1 this sem in your 2-2, you'll have to do it in 3-2 because that's the next time it'll be offered. And that means you can't do StatMech until 4-1, which means you have to be on campus in 4-1. So you can't do your thesis in 4-1. You have to do it in 4-2. And that means you won't get the thesis on your resume, on your profile. You won't get to add that for master's applications, which are in December. So that's in the middle of 4.1. If you're already halfway through your thesis, you can probably add it and get an LOR and whatnot. But you will be sacrificing that one LOR, that one thesis entry, if you don't do QM1 this sem. So yeah, I just want to really stress on that.
Okay then. If we're done with questions, we'll move on. That was a really good panel. I'd like to thank our panelists a
Are
lot.
there any other questions?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Have we covered all the questions from the form?
Yeah, we've covered all the questions from the form. So that was a great panel. Thank you guys a lot. Thank you for being here and helping us out. We'll move on to the next minor. So the next one is the PEP Minor, Philosophy, Economics, and Pol Science. And we have Anagha Rajesh speaking. She's a third-year student and she's doing this minor. So Anagha, the stage is all yours.
Cool. Hi. I'll quickly share my screen. Okay, right. So the reason why I am presenting a section of the website instead of the handout, instead of the bulletin, is because there are a couple of optional subjects that are listed there, which aren't available now, and there are courses which I have done which aren't there in that. So I usually refer to this for all information about this minor. So why did I pick up this minor? One, because I was interested, I've always been interested in humanities, wanted to do a bunch of courses and also have some sort of formal recognition for it, because I'm interested in pursuing something at the intersection of, say, science and like public policy later on. That's why I picked up this minor. Requirements, uh, I mean, they've given, so you just need a basic 4.5 CG to be able to pick up this minor. You have 3 compulsory courses and a bunch of electives. One of them is POE. I mean, you might have already covered this in your 2.1 or would be doing this in 2.2. Uh, Apart from that, until now, I have done 3 courses: POE, MPC, and Introduction to Development Studies. Uh, and there are a couple of, so not all the courses listed here are available, like are given on campus. So Dynamics of Social Change, so DISOC, Development Economics, Professional Ethics, and Applied Philosophy are definitely there. uh, the rest, I haven't seen them being offered always. And again, Introduction to Development Studies wasn't there for a couple of years at least, and it started again this semester. So I would say, I mean, these are basically hell courses, and if and I personally find them very interesting, and I score decently well in them. So that's largely what this minor is about. The one question that I got on the form, which I think has already been answered in terms of courses that you've already done. So, or like the courses that you will pick up in 2.2, they will contribute to the minor even if you haven't registered for them. Like even before the minor registration happens, the whatever courses you take that are relevant to the minor will add to your minor. So like it's not like you have to pick up those courses after you complete your registration for the minor. Uh, so if there are any questions, I can take them. Harsh, I'm not sure what your question is. Can you, if you can unmute, you can ask.
How this minor will help us
I mean, it depends on what you want to do, right? Like, if you're thinking of something like placements, this minor isn't going to like change anything for you. But if you're interested in like if you're interested in this for the sake of it, like because you're interested in the subjects, that's one thing. The second thing is when you're applying for, say, your master's or something of that sort, and you need to show some kind of diversity in your portfolio. That's an additional benefit that I can see from it, but that's pretty much a stretch. So, like, unless you're genuinely interested, I like this isn't going to radically change a lot of things for you. Cool. If there are any other questions, you can put them in the chat. And yeah, thanks.
Okay, that was a really good session. Thanks a lot, Anagha. So since we're ahead of schedule, I'll call on Piyush, one of our coordinators. He'll just address some relevant and important things about minors, just so we get them out of the way right now, and then we'll go on with schedule. So Piyush.
Yeah, I think there have been certain queries regarding if you don't wish to complete any minor. So I'd like to clarify on that. Uh, so the procedure for opting for applying for a minor degree is that you get a form for application of whatever minor you want in the middle of your 2-2, as I mentioned before, wherein half of the fees for a minor degree you have to pay right then, and the later half you will be paying after you complete the courses during your graduation. So once you pay rest half of the fees, you are handed over your minor degree. The initial half fees is paid beforehand in order so that you are given a priority in the courses that you want to register. For example, if you wish to take finance courses as part of your finance minor, then whenever you register for your uh, courses before every semester, you get priority for those courses over other students, irrespective of your PR. So whatever PR might be, you get those courses. That's how it is. So that is why you need to pay half of the fees first. Now, if a student wishes to not complete their minor because let's say they are not minor topics and courses don't suit them, so you don't need to do anything. You just don't complete the courses uh, or drop the courses midway and not complete all the necessary requirements, and you are consequently not given the degree. This does not affect your transcript in any way. It just works as if nothing existed. But you don't not get your initial half paid fees as a refund. You have paid those initially for your priority, so that's not given back. So it's just that you don't need to pay the rest half. Yeah. Other than that, I think the physics panel mentioned about the set of courses. So every minor has a certain set of courses, out of which some are compulsory. And basically, minor is about completing a set of courses from a pool of electives. So a few of them are compulsory for that particular minor degree, and rest you can select from the pool of elective courses that I mentioned. Like, for example, um, DS minor will have three courses: uh, machine learning, foundation of data science, and applied statistical methods as compulsory courses. And you need to complete 5 courses in all. So rest two you can choose from a set of different courses. So it doesn't matter what order you complete those in, as Ayushi mentioned before. You just need to complete those within your degree time. Yeah, okay. That's all about the general information. Let's continue with the next panel.
If anybody has any general doubts about minors, obviously data science, finance, they will be coming up and we'll address them then. But we are again ahead of schedule. So if anyone has any general, like Piyush talked about the process of registering for a minor. So if anyone has any doubts about that, feel free to unmute and ask right now. Okay then.
I think there is one question regarding summer term. I'll just clarify this here. Summer term, there is a list of courses that you get to know, which will be offered in the summer. We don't have the list right now for the upcoming summer. So you need to wait for those courses later on. And also, since summer term has come up, it is not fixed that what campus exactly all the courses will be taken. Like even if you are in Goa campus, it might be the case that you might have to go to Hyderabad campus for completing the courses. So yeah, minor courses offered in a. I'm sorry, Aryan, I cannot answer that. Yeah, all the list of courses are for minors, or all the courses basically are available in your bulletin as well as on your ERP.
No, Rebecca, if you're a single degree student, you will have to apply for the minor in 2 itself. There'll be forms rolled out for the same.
For a list of OPELs, what you need to do is when your registration will start, before that, 1 or 2 days before that, list of all the courses available to you is, yeah. So you need to cross check your ERP, the open elective section in your ERP with the timetable. So you will get to know which courses count as OPELs for you, like particularly you from for your branch from ERP, and you can see which of them are offered in that particular semester in TT. Is it okay?
Guys, one clarification. Summer terms is generally done by dual degree students and it is done after their third year of the summer that they have. For single degree students, in case even if you want to do it, you cannot do it while your PS is ongoing, irrespective of if it's online or offline. You cannot be doing a term or anything else when your PS is going on.
And if you have SIP, then also you can't do summer term and you have 3-1, 3-2 का summer. If you do not have a SIP, then you can go for a summer term.
Also, Khushi has asked, isn't taking minor after doing 3 courses in summer term similar to reverse minor? You apply for the minor beforehand, and according to your degree planning, you end up doing 3 courses in the summer. There isn't anything as reverse minor. You can't do all of the courses and then apply for a minor. Like, that's not a thing at all. Reverse minor is nowhere written in any official BITS document. So, like Nanda said, you need to apply for it beforehand. And as a dualite, because you don't have a lot of slots, you end up having to do it in the summer term. So you don't do it first and then apply.
Also, another important thing, you can start taking the courses, certain courses out of your minor in 2 itself. So I think DS and finance panel will cover that suitably. Other than that, I think since physics was done, QM one you need to take in your 2 itself. In case it is clashing, you can do it later in your 4-1, but it's after all the case that uh, it is an odd semester course, so you are at the risk of not getting or clashing. You can take QIC in your 2 as well, which will contribute to your physics minor, and rest of the like minor degrees, the panelists will be covering. So
Cool
yeah, I
then.
think
So we'll move on to the data science minor. So our panelists are Tanmay and Param. They're both fourth year students, and they're going to be talking about their experience with the data science minor. So stage is all yours, guys.
Yeah, tell your friends to join. We'll wait for maybe 1 or 2 more minutes because again, I'm assuming some people will join at 8. So let's wait for a little bit. Or we can start actually. It's not like
Yeah, we can start with the basic information.
start with the starting
Let's
part.
just introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
So hi, I'm Param Biyani. I took my data science minor just when you are going to take soon, and I completed my data science minor by 3-2. So I did 2 courses in 3-1 and did 3 courses in 3-2. So it was a pretty simple 5 course completed.
Yeah, and I'm Tanmay. Again, fourth year. I did thesis in the last sem in Newton, remote thesis. So I was on campus. It was remote, and yeah, it was great. Um, and yeah, let's start. Actually, let's not talk about us. Yeah. So the agenda is generally why do we do data science minor? Why you should and why you shouldn't? Then what are the different avenues and how heavy are the courses? Spoiler alert, they are pretty heavy. And courses related which would courses related to data science which the minor help uh, which the minor would help in getting. Yeah, so basically most of these courses are pretty much high in demand. So if you guys have a minor, you get pre-registered as Piyush said, and that would definitely help you. So you don't have to wait. If you have a bad PR number, that is no longer a concern. And please keep a track of all the memes. I put a lot of effort in that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, next slide. Yeah. So okay, what is data science? Okay, many people think this is data science. It's basically you have data and you do just something kala jadoo with data and try to get some nice results. And to be honest, it is a little like that. It is hacky at this stage. There are there are efforts to make it more understanding. And actually, yeah, data science. Just one word at this stage right now, which we can say data science, which highlights everything is chat gpt. I guess everyone would have seen chat gpt by now at least once, tried to play with it. That's very cool and kind of gives you a nice idea. Not actually, it doesn't give you a nice idea, it's just cool. um, but yeah, data science is basically you are trying to um, do some things with data. Okay, so yeah, now Param would talk a lot about this.
Yeah. So, the data science field in itself actually encompasses a lot of things. So, it's not just mathematics and it's not just the theory of ML and DL, which you will be taught in the university. There are a lot of things which you will not be taught through the minor, which become part of your data science, which is a central part of your data science. But it's always a constantly evolving field. 10 years ago, what we understood as data science is not at all the same what it is today. So in 4 or 5 years, each time something new comes up, and whatever you are studying right now, it's just totally irrelevant by them. And also
That doesn't
academia.
mean you don't have to study this. Okay,
Yes,
it's kind of
you
like
just have to
building on
always
top.
keep
It's
on
not.
studying.
Yeah.
And academia and industry. So the thing about data science is into industrial research as well as academia. Suppose you choose to do a PhD later on. After doing a PhD, you don't have to compulsorily join a sort of educational institution, organization. You can even join companies and do research for them. Data science offers a huge variety of whatever you want to do. If you do not want to do any research, if you hate research, even then, data science allows a lot of jobs. So if you want to get into, just software dev, which uses data science, if you want to get into jobs like data science or analytics, those kinds of jobs, data science is the way to go. And if you want to go into the research aspects of it, if you want to discover new things, it's all again the same also. So in data science, the academia and industry are very close together. So you don't see that a lot often happening in other fields. But for example, the current head of Google Research India, the head of their NLP division, is actually a professor at IISc Bangalore. So it's a professor who took a 2-year sabbatical and now is leading the company's NLP division. And after 2 years, he'll go back to being a professor. So, there's a lot of cross section between industry and academia. You never get to see all of that outside of data science. And also, everyone wants to do data science. Okay. You guys are interested about it. Even if you don't want to do it, you want to learn more about it. That's definitely true. So it's very competitive, whether you want to go for masters, whether you want to apply for jobs. And so it's very important that you know why you want to do data science and what you want to do after you do a data science minor, before you apply for a data science minor. Also, one thing I'll speak about is, data science minor, that the courses that are being covered here. A lot of you guys in CS will already cover it as a part of your devs and everything. So if you are a non-CS person, it's data science minor helps you get into that, not just your data science crowd, but also IT crowd. It gives you some academic background into having studied some computer science courses. Yeah.
The next slide. Yeah. So some general points. So some of the pros, as we said, one of the biggest reason to take it is that you get pre-registered. You get to show it on your resume that you have done some coursework related to data science on your resume, and then it helps you to get off-campus opportunities like thesis placements, and it helps for grad application hopefully, because I am applying for grad using data science minor. So hota hai. And also for non-data science minor, for non-CS people, data science minor helps you get into the field, as Param said.
Graduate applications means masters and PhD.
Yeah, masters and PhD.
Yeah, and so does it give an edge during placements? Not really. There were a couple of companies, again cons. There were a couple of companies which wanted data science students, but again they were small companies. There's not a huge, any direct benefit of doing a data science minor through our BITS. Excuse me, through BITS. So data science minor is just because you want to do it, wo kar lo. And off campus mein it helps a lot. Suppose your entire transcript is about CS, etc., but you are doing good in your data science courses, so it will help that, okay, my data science courses, I have this CG in my data science courses, this grades. It can help there. Also, no PS2, no PU, etc. jobs, they don't care. It's during placement, it's usually IT companies. So they won't be looking for data science minor students. There were only a couple of companies like that.
So it might change. We are the first data science minor batch, and you would be the third. So there is a possibility that by the time you come, placement might happen. There will be PS stations. There will be proper setup by then, hopefully. No idea.
But yeah, and you should be ready for the fact that the data. If you want to get a career in data science, you have to apply off campus sometime or the later, because there are a lot of good off campus opportunities. All major companies in India have some or the other data science roles, which you will have to apply off campus. You will have to apply off campus to various universities for thesis as well. So that's something you need to keep in mind. So there's no direct bits helping you out kind of thing. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So uh,
Again, reverse minor, we are not sure. Okay,
yeah, just
anything can
assume
happen.
that it's not possible.
Have heard of cases in which reverse minor has been allotted this semester, but again, we don't know. We need something official things from, yeah,
Yeah.
don't know
So just
anything.
assume if you अगर कल ही तुम लोग को, if you guys have a deadline of tomorrow to select if you want to do a minor or not, don't rely on reverse minor being a thing. Okay, just assume it won't be a thing, and if it is, then great news for all the others.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are the data science minor courses. Um, there is machine learning, foundations of data science, applied statistical methods. These three are the core courses, and they are going to be offered this semester. Um, yeah.
And
Then there are a lot more electives. The ones which are highlighted: artificial intelligence, deep learning, and computational neuroscience are being offered this time. Also, most of the times courses like computation learning theory is a very difficult. It's a difficult course. You can do that course. It is a difficult course. Okay, it's not a basic course. You need to have ML background to do that course. ML and ASM background. Um, then we'll talk about exact courses maybe at some point in the future. It's not really required right now. Yeah, computation
yeah,
learning theory is cold. So okay, I'll talk about it in this fashion. Ki right now, in industry, there are basically a few types of machine learning. There is something called general like statistical machine learning, in which you have models and random forest, preset IP. Those type of stuff is generally covered in machine learning. And then there is deep learning, which is just basically right now deep learning is like you have a black box, you give it data, it predicts. That is how deep learning is right now. And then there is reinforcement learning, in which you learn, so you make some change, you perform some action, get feedback, and keep on doing actions like that. So this is a very rough broad idea, it's not at all nitty gritty. And then there is natural language processing. Param is very good at that. And then a lot more. And there are a lot of math courses which supplement, not supplement,
they
complement.
are just, you need them. You won't be able to understand a lot of concepts in data science if you do not have a sound background in mathematics. So
Yeah, so we'll talk about a few courses. Okay,
yeah,
just the main courses. So machine learning. So machine learning deals with the basics of machine learning. It is very math intense. It is math intensive and theoretically rigorous. You require strong programming knowledge, and because Python is used in labs, and I mean, not strong. Basically, you need to know Python. You should be able to write the pipeline and work using that. And it is generally pretty heavy. You can consider it as 1.5 to 2 courses. Okay, so again, it is being offered this sem. I would not suggest that any of the second year students will register for that, but if you really want to, there will be an opportunity. We'll discuss that in the meeting at 9:30. Then there is FDS, which introduces linear algebra and optimization relevant for data science. Again, it is kind of an extension of M2. The linear algebra part of M2, it extends that. um, no, the
no, it's
same is
not.
not a prerequisite.
All
And
the core courses, the three on your screen, they do not have any prerequisites as such. The
yeah,
prerequisites, if they are, it's a part of your first year
yeah,
compulsory
they are your
courses.
first year
So
courses
don't
like
worry.
prop
Yeah,
stats M2. These are the courses which serve as prereqs. And ASM is math intensive. It is statistics. Okay, it covers the statistical backgrounds. It is an extension of prop stats, but goes way deeper, and it is pretty extensive and in depth. And yeah, the students who took ASM in the previous semester will tell you how intensive it is. So
yeah,
in summary, data science minor CDCs are very mathy, but again, these are some of the most amazing courses you can get on campus. And and they are taught by some of the best faculty on campus. The Yeah, I have a page for that also. But yeah, so amazing faculty. All data science minor professors are amazing. Yeah.
yeah. Before you
Um,
go to the next slide, one second. So if you want to ask yourself, how do I know that my interest is in data science? One is by doing at least some kind of project. You should be doing some kind of project in data science before you try to understand, at least have some working experience in data science before you try to gauge your interest over there. There are plenty of courses online. If you Google, the first thing that comes up is the deep learning, understanding deep learning textbook by Jan LeCun, and the Andrew Ng courses on Coursera and YouTube. So those are definitely things. But if you want to go deeper into data science, if you really want to make a career out of it, you will need the maths.
Yeah, you
And
cannot do proper machine learning without doing
yeah,
the maths of it.
so
It is
yeah,
mathy, very
so
mathy.
it's not just how interested you are in data science. What part of data science interests you? You need to also figure that out. Data science is a bit too wide to say that I'm interested in data science. It's like saying मैं पढ़ाई करने में बहुत interested हूँ. Like no one is interested in पढ़ाई करने में. Like क्या करना चाहते हो वो clear होना चाहिए. So data science is a wide field. There are a lot of, it intersects with a lot of other fields as well. So
Almost all. Okay, there I don't think there would be anything in which you can't use data science. Like सब में कुछ ना कुछ तो application you can always find. Uh, but if you are going to plan on doing data science as a career, it is going to be mathy.
you need to have some kind of plan. Now, a plan doesn't mean that you have scripted कि अगले 5 साल में I'm going to do this. It just has to be कि I would like to do a job वगैरह वगैरह, and that is why data science will help me. अगर मैं job नहीं करूँ, ये करूँ, masters के लिए apply करूँ, that is why data science will help me. You need to have some kind of idea about that. I know a lot of my friends who took data science. We were the first batch to get the data science, so everyone just took it. Okay, data science, it sounds cool. I have the CGU to take it. Let's take it. And they went through ML, FDS, and ASM courses. They did not like data science at all. It was just too much for them. All they wanted to do was get into an IT company, software dev, वगैरह. They are very good at that, and this just tanked their CG. This just burned their interest in data science. So just know where your priorities are. If you want to go into IT, software dev, this might be a second priority for you. If you want to just don't take it. I want to say, don't take it just because you feel like taking it. It's a commitment that you're doing. You will have to complete these 3 courses, and all these 3 courses are Hitler. So make sure to before jumping in, just see how deep the water is.
Okay, so these are the courses which are being offered this semester. There are a few more courses. So deep learning, it covers basics required for more applied data science perspective, and usually you have a term project in the domain of computer vision or NLP, and it familiarizes you with the modern tools used in deep learning. Very important, like PyTorch and Keras. Artificial intelligence, again, it covers search algorithm, not binary search, different type of search algorithms, constant satisfaction problem, probabilistic reasoning, elementary statistical decision theory, not of math. I mean, it is mathy, but this course kind of makes you ready to take reinforcement learning बाद में. So yeah, and then there's computational neuroscience. Now this is being offered for the first time, so let's see how it is.
Yeah, and also 1 second on that
Yeah.
slide. Yeah, so a huge difference between computer science and data science is that data science is a bit heuristic. Computer science mein, everything is defined by logic. If this, then that. It's all, the entire logic can be described in mathematical formulations. If something is happening, there has to be a mathematical explanation to it. In data science, that's usually not true. For example, in a searching algorithm, because it is sorted in such a manner and the algorithm is working like that, that the algorithm will finish. It will give a correct answer. You might not know that in data science. So it's a bit different from your usual computer science stuff. And that is also one of the reasons why it gets to interact with a lot of other fields. Like for example, these days one hot field is mechanical plus data science. There are huge applications over there. So due to automation of cars, automation of sensors that are used on cars, and control theory and reinforcement learning, a lot of deep learning is now being brought into mechanical related stuff, electrical related stuff. So just because it is not core CS, that is why there is such huge scope over there. So even if you're not a CS person, data science might be the thing for you. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, so there is a lot of data science in a lot of things. Like there is a lot of data science in bio and robotics, which is basically mechanical. So yeah, so it's everywhere, like basically. So these are current data science faculty, and more are joining. And yeah, sorry about that. And this is the main faculty, Ramanathan Rajaraman. Contact him for any doubts. And then yeah, question answers. Yeah, and more memes basically.
Are you presenting, Tanmay?
Oh, I stopped presenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll present that.
So CG cutoff, one guy is asking again and again. It's like 8.1 usually. So if you're above, if you're above 8.4ish, you should safely get a data science minor. So the thing about data, because only it has only been given out 2 times, so you're not really sure how much that will follow. I think during my time it was 8.3 or something. During it might decrease for you guys because there's a few more seats this time, I think. But yeah, somewhere around 8.1 to 8.4. No prerequisite for DS minor. The core courses, there's no prerequisite for them. But some of the courses in your electives, so you have to do 5 courses. 3 of them are core courses that you have to do, and out of the all the options that we showed you in the bulletin, you have to do at least 2 courses. So some of them might have prerequisites, but that's a separate thing. So no prerequisites. What if you don't clear the cutoff? You might have to rely on a reverse DS minor if you really want a DS minor. And again, we're not sure if a reverse DS minor is going to be a thing or not. So try to clear the cutoff. Future prospects regarding grad applications. Sure. So
yeah, talk.
So these days, if you go for grad applications, vagera, there's not just masters in science for computer science. There's not just MS in computer science. There's also programs like MS in data science, MS in AI, and those things. Over there, having a academic background, saying a minor in data science will help a lot. So they will have at least some proof that you have done a few courses related to data science, and you have some experience over there. If you are a non-CS, it will help a lot. Even if you're applying for MS and CS, by the time you apply for grad applications, you have to choose a specialization. Computer science is not a specialization; it's a specialization for graduate, undergraduate. For graduate, you need to choose: I'm going to do AI, or am I going to do theory, systems, or networking? What in computer science you want to do? So over there, if you choose something like artificial intelligence, it might help. And apart from grad applications, you also have a lot of research opportunities. Data science is very hot right now, so you can publish a few papers while you're in your undergrad itself. You can also get directly go for jobs after bachelor's, because you can also go for research related jobs after undergrad, which is just shocking, because an undergrad isn't supposed to do research as such, but you still get jobs for that, and by big companies. Data science jobs usually pay higher than your IT companies. PR is needed for these courses. A high PR is needed if you want to get it without a data science minor. If you have a data science minor, you get pre-registered to it. You might want to
yeah, I'll talk about that. Professors, any professor you can reach, but go to data science professors if you're interested in theoretical stuff. Okay, it depends actually which professor you are going to.
Look at their publications. That's
Yeah,
important.
look
at what they're working in, if you like that or not.
Don't go on their BITS website. It is not updated. Go to their scholars
Google
and then
Scholar
see what
page.
they are doing. or you can talk to some of the seniors who have worked on it. Again,
Yeah.
this is always everywhere. Like, talk to seniors whenever you are doing stuff.
And also
Uh,
keep an eye out for AppCare projects. So AppCare is, you might know our lab AppCare. So a lot of projects in data science are now related to AppCare. So if you want to get some AppCare projects, you might want to work under professors who's associated with AppCare. So a lot of professors in data science also want students who are willing to give 1 year commitment to them. So you should think about that. Maybe apply during your 2-2. So for your entire 3-1 and 3-2.
Would you, so math has a lot. Sorry, the math is has both statistics and calculus, both a lot.
Yeah,
So
ASM is entirely statistical, but
yeah,
when you go to more higher and higher abstract learning things like deep learning, machine learning, you don't need calculus, statistics that much. You just need to know the basics of it, and that will help you. Calculus, you will always need it because the entire the basis of data science, how a computer learns new things, it is entirely built on calculus.
yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
something called as gradient descent. So it's just the word gradient in itself means you have calculus.
Test for DS minor late June. I'm not sure about a test for DS minor. How does AppCare select students? Okay, this is a good question. AppCare selects students through the courses. So if you have done an ML course, if you have done DL course, and if you have gotten a really good grade in those courses, if the professor likes how your performance in those courses, you get to apply for their AppCare form, and the professor will accept you. So AppCare rolls out a form each semester, and depending on what your background is, all the courses that you have done, you will be selected. So yeah. Also, if you are already working under some professor, they will just get you into AppCare. That is also a thing.
Yeah, I like this slide. Like, I actually wanted to, do this. Oh, that's a
AppCare, Anuradha and Prashant Palakurti Center for AI and Research. It's a $1 million AI lab in BITS, Goa.
Yeah, so AppCare is basically the AI lab of BITS Goa, and there are a few more like Bin Labs, and what else?
Sidle is a
And
club,
the
yes,
NLP lab.
and yeah,
Fatima
Sidle also helps for what? I mean, like for what?
Sidel
Life
helps in
may, I mean, it might life may help karega. I don't know. In getting paper published, yes, Sidle helps a lot if you want to get paper published. They roll out their forms
Sidel
each
rolls out
month,
a
each
summer
semester.
session. So
AppCare
sorry.
related, no, it doesn't directly help. So yes, of course, there's a huge intersection between AppCare and Sidle. So a lot of students who are in AppCare might not be also related to Sidle, and a lot of people who are related to Sidle. There's no such hard and fast rule. But yeah, a lot of times, because both of them are related to data science, a lot of people will be saying list of courses that could be taken if we don't get minor because of CG.
That
ML, deep learning, AI. These three are some really good courses. So I'll write those down.
no wait. Share the list of that could be taken. See, I mean, what do you mean by could be taken? It's
Like
all
if
PR
they
dependent.
like
You
they
can
just
take
want to.
any course.
I'm assuming you want to learn about data science in general, but you don't have the CG and you just want to get some courses done. I would say DL, ML, and AI are some good courses. They are different courses. AI is very
And
different from
ML are
machine
very
learning.
different courses.
Yeah,
Any
people use it
opportunities
AI
at the
slash ML
intersection
AI.
of systems and DS? Okay, that's a very good question. So there are quite a few professors who are working at the intersection of systems and DS. There isn't an official course which goes into the intersection of systems and DS, but there are systems courses which introduces machine learning. For example, IoT. I don't know if sir will allow you guys to.
Not now, but maybe in future. So
Yeah, whatever. So there is how can you use machine learning in this system, and wherever you go, you can get a little bit of machine learning in systems courses. Yeah.
and also systems and ESA. So makes sense to do a minor. So just come back to the question of what a minor is. It's a set of 5 courses. So do you want to do those 5 courses? Do you want to do FDS, ASM, and ML, and then you need to also choose the 2 elective courses. So if you want to do those courses, obviously it will help. If you want to go somewhere in the intersection of systems and DS, uh, just a minor in DS will help solidify you. But do you want to do those courses? It is entirely possible to be a excellent researcher or a developer in data science without having a data science minor. So that's also a thing. As such, helping directly in the intersection of any 2 fields, it might not directly help. And there is not a course in data science minor electives also which is related to systems and DS. There are a few. Could you go back to the elective slides? So there's,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, 2 courses which might be so there's of course graph mining. It is of course computational graphs, but also it uses a lot of systems. And then there's, I think, where is uh, I think
That's
it's
fine. If
social
you
media
want
analytics.
nitty-gritties, you can
Yeah.
definitely ping
So
us.
social media analytics uses a lot of DBMS and everything. So there's
Yeah,
also
social
systems
media
there. Both of
analytics
these
hasn't
courses
been
are not being offered in, I think,
quite some time.
our
Social media
campus. Yeah.
informatics hasn't been offered in 2 years. Graph mining hasn't been offered ever.
Yeah, it's,
People,
I think, a
sir,
Pilani course. So
yeah,
yeah.
sir wanted to offer it,
Yeah.
and there weren't enough people interested in doing the course.
So just ask yourself, do you
So,
want to do
okay,
the
not
courses?
everything is taught from scratch in when you get data science. You need to have experience with Python. There is kind of a understanding that you guys know how to use Python. You guys know basics of prop stats and basics of linear algebra.
In
That
ML,
is
they
a
will just assume that you know Python, and if you don't know, it's very easy to learn. It's
yeah.
just a step
So
above
there
English.
is always that one lab, introductory lab, in
Yeah.
which there is a quick rundown of basics of Python, but that is not sufficient. You like it helps for review. It's kind of like a revision. It's not for from scratch. You have to know Python before taking the minor courses. Actually,
And it's and the prerequisites are not that great that you have to be a CS student. Even if you have no, so the current rank 2 in ML, so the course that sem 1 2022-2023 academic year, the rank 2 in that, he is actually a mechanical plus data
mechanical.
science minor guy.
Yeah.
He did not know any programming at all. He knew some basic idea of programming from that CP course in first year, but uske baad mein, he was in his 3-1 and he did not have a clue about programming. He taught himself programming in Python, and we saw how he struggled in the first few labs, but he completed it with a rank 2. So it's definitely possible. So yeah,
So Param
placement
is
kaha
placed
lagegi?
in Adobe, and I'm
So
going for
mine is
grad.
in Adobe, but I'm I'm aiming for some research roles somewhere, uh, and
And I am going for graduate, so I am not in placements that much. Yeah.
अच्छा okay.
You
Who
asked
asked?
actually, but
मतलब
okay.
भाई तूने
मतलब
पूछा.
खुद से नहीं बताया.
How maths was
One.
compulsory?
One. ASM is a compulsory
Yeah.
course which you have to do. It's a math course which you have to do. But it is again taken by CS department. I mean, okay. One semester is taken by CS department. Other semester it may or may not be offered. And again, there is a lot of push from these guys, the data science faculty, ki these 3 courses, ML, ASM, FDS, will be offered in all semesters. But it is not a guarantee. Do not rely on that. Yes, this was actually something I want to talk about. Ki don't rely. There is scarcity of faculty. This much is not sufficient. You need more faculty, because some of these guys take electives also, are in. So for example, Sujit sir will teach you DSA in the upcoming semester. So there will be a lot of so there will be a lot of sorry, I was just reading the chat. So I was saying there will be a lot of new courses which could come, and as well as there could be a chance that some of the main courses will not be offered in all semesters. So if you are really interested, take the course when you have the opportunity.
And also the difference between CS ASM and math ASM is, I don't really get the question. What
Okay,
you mean?
I'll answer that. So basically, CS math ASM has never happened in history. Okay, in
CS
CS
ASM, I guess.
it has happened. Only CS ASM has happened. Math
Wait a second.
ASM hasn't happened yet. So
No,
math department is
are
offering
you
ASM
talking
for the
about
first
the
time.
course code, because course code is
No,
math?
no, no. ASM is being offered for the first time by the
Acha,
math
okay,
department.
best. Okay,
I'm
understood.
assuming ki it would be like statistical inference course. Do ask some seniors how SIA was. I'm assuming it would be like SIA because from people I've heard that ASM and SIA used to be pretty similar, and Sahu sir is taking it, and I'm guessing it would be more or less like SIA, but it can be false, okay, because it's being offered by the first time by math department. Till now it was offered by either CS department and once by Chandradev Sharma.
Yeah, and DS courses have the average CS grading, so it's not too tough to score or too easy to score. It's
Yeah,
just
so if
average
you
CS
have
grading.
good marks, you get good grades.
Yeah,
uh, yeah,
but yeah, the course itself is tough. That's a different thing.
but
Yeah, I guess we are out of time now. We have a 30 minutes. If you have any question, just reach out us to on our phone numbers. We are on WhatsApp.
yeah,
Could you go to this?
I'll just take you guys to here.
Uh,
Just copy this.
so
Because yeah,
Yeah.
actually we have a lot of questions which were asked on the form, so I ask you to be present at 9
Okay, I
p.m.
will stay till
okay,
9.
we'll stay at 9 and we'll talk about it. Sure.
Yeah, please be there at 9. So further
Uh,
questions for data science minor would be taken at 9 p.m.
yeah, that was a very, very good presentation, Tanmay and Param. Thank you guys a lot for that. So we'll move on to the next minor, which is our finance minor. And for that, we have Ritik and Vansh. So, guys, all yours.
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, me and Mala will be taking the finance minor. So we had attended this 2 years ago and it was pretty helpful. Hopefully, we also had the same value. So just starting off about, we don't have any presentation right now, so we'll keep this brief and then we'll go to the Q&A. So basically, who should take the minor? So anyone who is sure that they want to make a career out of finance, they definitely should. Anybody who wants to explore options of fields, they too should consider taking the finance minor, because the finance minor does open a lot of opportunities. There are various domains within finance also which can be explored. But anyone who does not, fulfill the above two criteria and are just taking the minor to finish open electives and, just for the sake of it, I would suggest not to, because these are pretty competitive and you might just, damage your own CG. So net, basically anybody who is sure on taking up finance as a career option later on should, and anybody who wants to explore that option. uh, why should you take the finance minor also is another question. So basically, other than obviously the learning, the concepts and all that you want to learn in the finance minor, the finance minor gives you the PS option. So basically, for placements, we do not have any finance companies coming down. Mostly for placements in the non-core option, we generally have product consulting, business analyst, business development, etc. But basically, if you want to get a proper risk role, or you want to get a investment banking role, or something in core finance, then the only option that you have is to go via the PS route, which is getting a good finance offshoot. I'll come to the offshoot part later on. And then post which, getting a finance PS station in any of the good firms, and then converting that into a PPO. So that is the reason. Other than that, obviously, I mean, even if you want to sit for some off-campus internships or whatever, then you would need something to validate that finance, and your finance minor degree and your finance offshoot is something which would obviously validate and back your claim that you do know enough and you can contribute. So that is why you should be taking the finance minor. Other than that, coming to the courses, so for the finance minor, there are two CDCs, which is FUFA and FinMan, which you got to do. Post which, the other courses which are generally considered by any of the big firms are BAF, SAPM, DRM. These are the three other courses which are considered. There are two more courses which are there. One is FRM. FRM also is considered for some risk roles, but to a much lesser extent. And there's another course called taxation, which is as of now not considered in the finance offshoot. So now coming to what exactly is the finance offshoot. So basically, the five courses which you will be doing, minimum 5 courses which you'll be doing, it is basically a score out of 50. If you get an A in a subject, then you get a 10. If you get an A minus, the 9, and you basically add up that score of each subject, which would cumulatively give you a score out of 50. So that basically makes up your offshoot score, and offshoot is of paramount importance for securing a PS station. I mean, PS, very few companies take interviews. Mainly, it is your allotments are done on the basis of offshoot first and then CG. So that is the reason why you need to keep your offshoot up there. Uh, Other than that, coming to the CG cutoff. So during my year, it was about 7.2. And the year after mine, it had gone slightly lower. So I think 7.2 definitely should be enough. Slightly lower or higher depends again on the demand supply. So yeah, that's about it. For the single degree students, Mala will explain why like how dual degree students can go about doing the minor.
So all right, I guess rules have changed very recently. You cannot do reverse minors, what I asked last, because the campus does not want to give reverse minor anymore. So you'll be applying together with the single degree students, and you'll have a cutoff similar to the DS minor. Now, what the cutoff will be, I have no much idea about that because we could do reverse minor on our time, but you can keep it around 7.5. All right. So the process should be very much similar to how the single degree students do, and how they will give you slots to finish all of them is still unclear, but it's usually done in a summer term. So you take one summer, you come back to college and you do your rest of your courses. All right. So what I did was when I went to Hyderabad after my 3-2, and I did 3 of my courses there because I don't have enough slots. Dualites don't usually have enough slots with them. So summer term would be the way that you complete your minor. I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, yeah, I think as Malav said, reverse minor might not be possible. Then in that case, you would need to make the CG cutoff. So now just coming back to one more thing, since most of you will be in your 2-2, I'd suggest that you all anyhow try to get FUFA, the course FUFA, because it's a prerequisite for FinMan. So if you're able to do your FUFA in 2-2, you can complete your entire finance minor by 3-1. And for going for your PS in 4-1, if you want to go for your PS in 4-1, then the offshoot up to 3-1 is considered. So the only way by which you can complete your entire minor by 3-1 is taking FUFA in 2-2. So that is just a word of advice. Anybody who's able to do that, great for them. Uh, Now I'll just move on to the questions. And so yeah, yeah, okay, right, right. Right. Totally. So, so just one thing, I'll just give you all an idea about how the placements and PS system works, so that you'll have some clarity on that. So generally, in 4-1 placements, we have more core companies coming in. So and CSIT big firms coming in. So in terms of non-core placements, for example, anything in product, any the smaller consulting companies, any of the business analysts, business development, any of the non-core companies, most of them come in 4-2. Very few come in 4-1. So that is one thing to keep in mind. So completing your PS in 4-1, there are 2 to 3 advantages to that. One, obviously, it gives you a CG boost. It gives you 6 months of internship experience, which you can talk about in 4-2 interviews in case you do not get the PPO. That is obviously. So you do have an option of a backup, doing it in 4-1 your PS. Whereas in 4-2, if you do not get the PPO, then you would have either had to get something in 4-1, which would probably be a core company, or else you would need to find options off campus. So always obviously a safer option, and this is what most people do, is going in 4-1 for PS and setting for placements in 4-2.
So for the question where you don't apply for a finance minor, you still get a PS for that, all right? So your PS is counted on your grades for the 5 subjects. And if you have one subject missing out of them, I think you're marked out of 5 from 10, all right? So you're given a C minus essentially. So even if you don't apply for a minor, it's very much possible that you get one of the finance PSs. For business analyst role, no, you're not required to have a finance minor. Yeah, so you'll get the PS station, but you won't get the degree until unless you complete all of your courses. Does finance minor help with product roles? Not very much, but it's good to have some finance background. I think you'll need a little bit of coding in that also.
So, Pratyaksh, basically, if you have completed all the courses, then that means you've done a reverse minor, and you will be getting the minor degree at the end of your graduation.
So you don't do a reverse. All right, you need to go ask the admissions office for a reverse minor.
Yeah.
All right, because when we went last, we weren't. They were very reluctant to give us reverse minor as well. So like third year, from third year onwards, like third year students right now, even they won't be getting a reverse minor. So it's better that you once go ask the admissions office if you'll be offered a reverse minor after you complete your courses.
Yeah, so coming to what is a good offshoot score, again, this is very relative. Depends on what brand you want, which company you want, and which basically which roles you want. So, I mean, to be on the safer side, if you want to keep all your options open, then getting anything upwards of 48 and 50 is great. Uh, Otherwise, as you go lower, obviously the firm will also be going down. So, but I think the minimum that you should get on 50 would be 38 if you want to land up a decent role or any company, I mean, in finance. That is one thing. Uh, how does the finance minor help with product roles? I mean, in terms of, it's not any prerequisite for any product role. It's just the learnings that you do get in the finance minor, which is some of it is the analytical and, able to, gauge trends. And also when you do study BAV, business analysis, you will be able to, understand a business. There are few consulting frameworks also which are taught in that subject. So that would help. But other than that, there is no other relation between the two. Is finance minor prerequisite for finance PS2? Uh, so a finance minor, I mean, if you're the reverse minor, since it's not possible, since Vansh is saying, then you would obviously need to get a finance minor. But what basically is looked into when you're allotted a PS station is basically the course you have done and the grades you've got. It's your offshoot score. So if you have done 4 courses and you've got, let's say, in all, then in that case, obviously you would get a good PS station. So I mean that is one thing which you would need to keep in mind. Uh, so how was the experience with the finance minor? Is it worth getting into the competition of someone who wants to explore another career option? So Nanda, see, it is competitive, pretty competitive. Grading in some subjects is not that good. It is not like, I mean, in finance minor, some courses like DRM, it's not like, you wake up 2 days before the exam, study, and you get the marks. It doesn't work like that in some of the courses because they are difficult to understand. And since you might not have any prior, you know, uh, knowledge on them, it won't just happen in 2 days. So you do need to put in consistent effort to, score well. So if you are sure you want to get into finance or anything related and you don't even want to explore that option, then I would suggest against taking up the minor.
So about the grading aspects of finance subjects, it's not as bad as electrical or maths, but considering that it's very competitive and people do score very good marks, that is what makes it very competitive, all right? So there'll be a lot of people in the A section, all right, the A category, and there'll be a lot of people in A minus as well. So I think above Av, if you keep your score, total score, you should probably get some B or B minus, all right? It's not a bad grading, but it's difficult to score because a lot of people are going to score along with you. And one more thing I'll suggest is do not take BAV without having any other subject one sem before you do it. All right, BAV is a bit tricky, so make sure you do FUFA or SAPM something before you step into BAV.
Okay, so just to build on that point, basically in 2-2, if you're getting DRM, don't pick it up just because the course is available. You'll be competing with people of who are doing in their 3-2. and it's going to be really tough on you because you won't have any prior experience with finance, and you will just end up damaging your offshoot and your grade. So don't try to rush into it. FUFA is one of the only courses which I would suggest you take if you get into two. Don't go for BAV or DRM because you just end up harming your offshoot and trying to complete it quickly. So yeah, which are the other three courses which count for offshoot other than the core two? So generally, all companies what they look into is DRM, which is derivatives and risk management, and security analysis and portfolio management, which is SAPM, and the third one is BAV, which is business analysis and valuation. These five make up your offshoot. Uh, what would be a good offshoot score if you want to get a good PS2 station? I mean, if you want to keep your options open, 48 and 50 plus, 45 and 50 plus also is good enough. Again, depends SEM to SEM. SEM 1 would be slightly lower because not everybody would have been able to complete the finance minor all five courses. Uh, so in that case, it would be slightly lower. But otherwise, if you want to look at an overall, what is a good offshoot score, you should have 45 plus, I would say, if you want to get in any of the top firms like JP, Credit Suisse, or Nomura.
Alright, I read a question something about the FRM exam. Alright, so what our campus offers is FRAM, and FRM exam is something that you give externally. So the last course that you see, Fin F414, that's FRAM that the campus offers. Alright, so you take that and you get some preference, I guess, in some risk roles only. And FRM exam is something entirely different. That's like CFA and stuff. Alright, I don't think that helps you at all in your PS placements, but maybe in your PS allotments. But when you sit for placements, that's a good addition to your CV.
Okay, will we have to rely upon our PR for opting FUFA and Tutu? Yeah, mostly it works on that, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean it's totally based on your luck unless you're able to, convince AUGST to give the course to you or however you want to do it.
So I think I have knowledge only about FRM and CFA, all right. So FRM is mainly risk focused, that is financial risk management, and CFA is much on the side of analyst. So I guess the first levels for both of them are pretty much similar. But if you are interested in risk management, then go for FRM. If you just want some general finance ka good degree, then you can pick up CFA.
Okay, can you tell again why should we take FUFA and Tutu? So okay, so basically, FUFA is a prerequisite for Finman. That which means that basically you need to complete FUFA, and only then the next time can you take Finman. Now, if you want to go in your 4-1 for PS, you need to have completed or your offshoot up to 3-1 is counted. So let's say you do not get FUFA in 2-2. That means you'll be doing FUFA in 3-1 along with 3 other minor courses, which means that you can only complete 4 courses. Your offshoot of 4 courses will count for your 4-1 PS. Versus if you do FUFA in 2-2, then you can do the other 4 courses in 3-1, and that means that 5 courses will be counted for your 4-1 PS2. Aditya, is Finman offered in odd SEM? No, it's offered in all SEMs. If we take any other course except 5 offshoot courses, then how is offshoot calculated? I mean, these 5 are the main courses which any company looks into. Offshoot is just a number which is used basically for the PS allotments. It is so I mean they generally only consider these 5 courses for it. So I mean, if you do something like a money banking and financial markets, I don't think it's going to be counted in any way, and you will be basically counted out of 4. Does finance minor help with consultancy placements, or is it a requirement? I mean, obviously, whatever you learn out there, there would be some adjacencies to what would be asked in consultancy placements. For example, profitability case studies are there, and various case studies are there, on the business and stuff. So it's not a requirement, definitely. It's again a talking point. If you do really well out there, you could basically highlight that in your resume and speak about how you're interested in finance and the courses that you have done in finance, which do have similarities. So yeah. How is offshoot calculated? Uh, so yeah, basically each course you do contributes to 10 points. So let's say in FUFA you get an A, in the other four courses you get an A minus, then it means basically offshoot is 46 because you add 10 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. So it's basically whatever grade you get, you add uh, you add all of those and you basically get it out of 50. Is finance minor relevant for quant roles? Oh, so okay, so this question basically, I mean, the two people who did get a quant role at JP, as far as I remember, had done the finance minor. I'm not sure how how much how relevant it is for the quant role, but I mean, obviously, you should have some understanding of finance and financial jargons to do that. Does financial management help for systems roles at trading companies? Yeah, I mean there are a lot of trading roles even within JP and within other companies, and which are offered in PS2. So you could so obviously the finance minor contributes to that. Would you suggest taking any course except FUFA for 2-2? So SAPM is one of the easier courses only. So you could, if you really want to, just you need to bear in mind that you'll be competing with people who are in their 3-2. So if you're good in finance and if you are motivated enough, then yeah, go ahead. All I'm trying to say is that there's no point rushing into the minor without being completely prepared because you don't want to damage your offshoot. So SAPM is relatively an easier course compared to BAV and DRM, and it is somewhat similar to FUFA. If you're willing to put in slightly extra effort, yeah, SAPM is doable in 2-2. Our trading roles
So,
open. Hmm. Go ahead, man.
so I don't know if there are many trading roles in the PS, but a couple of companies come for your placement for trading roles. So no, the branch does not matter when it comes to such companies.
So for PS, there are trading roles in JP, and Nomura too has uh, something like a trading role. So these they are generally open to electrical branches, but again depends year to year. So that basically comes out. It's a company requirement. They when they do give their job description, they do mention which branches they want to include. So I mean this changes year to year, so you can't really be sure about it. But generally, if you're a circuit branch or a CS, you're definitely in. If you're mechanical chemical, then there is there is a possibility that they might want to exclude you in a particular year, but there's no hard and fast rule that they will or they won't. Everything taught from scratch in FUFA? Yeah, everything is taught from scratch in FUFA, obviously. But obviously, do need to put in your effort. They won't be teaching it multiple times. So they'll teach it once. You need to obviously go back and revise properly. But if you don't even have a background finance, that's not a big problem. If you're willing to put in the effort, then it's pretty doable. Any way to check interest or learn about what will be taught in these courses? Like Abhi, any lessons you can suggest about these engage? Yeah, you can go to Zerodha Varsity. I mean, you can just go through the modules. They have everything from options, which is taught in options and futures, which is taught in derivatives and risk management, to financial analysis, which does come under BAV, ratio analysis, which also comes under FUFA. So if you go through the modules of Zerodha Varsity, then you can. Other than that, you can reach out to me. I can send you like the books that I used for the courses. You could go through them and just see broadly if you are interested in that. I'll just share my contact anyways in the uh, chat box. Yeah, anything else you all can unmute also and ask. Otherwise, yeah.
Guys, if you have question, you can ask now, or else we'll proceed to the questions which were asked on the form.
Just one question. Supposing we don't get FUFA in our 2-2, then is it worth rushing 4 courses in finance in 3-1 just to sit for the PS1, or should we spread it out over 3 and complete the minor that way?
No, so I mean, if you are sure you want to go into non-core, then it makes sense to do all 4 and 3-1. It would be a slightly heavy sim, but uh, I mean, it is manageable, and you can manage it even holding a POR or anything of that sort. So it's not doable. And I mean, obviously, it makes complete sense. I managed it, so yeah. Can you elaborate on the different kinds of roles that a finance minor opens? Okay, so yeah, so it opens a lot of opportunities. For example, investment banking, equity research, anything in the debt research or debt capital markets, anything of that sort. Any trading role, any sales and structuring role. Now, I'll be telling you the roles. I don't know if you'll be understanding what exactly it entails, but so it opens. There are various roles other than just equity research and investment banking. You could go through what are the fields in finance, and I can obviously forward you, or you all can reach out to me and I can forward you the list of roles that are available, and you all can see if any of that interests you. Offshore requirements lesser in 4.1. So I mean, uh, offshore requirements would be lesser if obviously people have only done 4 courses in 3.1, then that in that situation obviously it would be lesser, because you have only 4 courses which you're going to be counting out, right? And it's out of 50, so in that case it would be slightly lesser. But anybody who has been able to do 5 courses obviously has an edge over you. Yeah, anything else?
Okay, I'll share the questions. You guys can answer one by one. I'll be sharing questions for finance.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go by the questions one by one. You can answer.
Right, so out of all, I mean, so the best way is to obviously go through what are the courses that are available, go through the course contents. Course handouts are easily available. So you can just go through that, see if any of that is of any interest to you, and then decide. So that is one thing. Then second is obviously looking at what the applications of each minor is, what are the job opportunities, and gauging if that does interest you. If it does, then you could take it up. Yeah, we can move on to the next. Can we choose minors based on future opportunities too? Please highlight. Yeah, obviously you can. I mean, if you want to, it will obviously help you choose a career path. So, please highlight the future opportunities for each minor. So, one thing which I would suggest you do is you could go and just look up on basically what are the different domains in finance, because even if I do tell you what the roles available are, you won't understand, and going into such depth at this point would not make sense. So you can just go and look into what are the subdomains within finance. There are various: risk, quant, investment banking, equity research, debt capital markets, and then you can reach back to me and I could obviously explain what is each role to you.
Uh, so this is not really very clear from the admin right now if you're able to get a reverse minor or not. So I would really suggest that if somebody wants to try and do a reverse minor at this point, especially the dualites, you should mail the admin once, or yeah, that would be the good option, because when I went last, they were not even giving us a reverse minor, so we had really had to talk to the admin for a bit to allow us to get a reverse minor. So it'd be very preferable if you guys mail once. Otherwise, they will send a mail for the minor. I don't know. Have they sent the mail for the minor, Abhida?
The mail for the minor will be sent in the semester. I guess they have not.
I had for somebody to tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. So just ask them once if you can do a reverse minor. That'd be very good.
Don't count on that though.
Sorry.
I mean, don't count on reverse minor. We have like gotten to know that you might not be able to do that this semester onwards.
Yeah. So even third year students won't be able to do that, I guess, because some some rules have changed. So it's better if you check before taking up the subjects that if reverse minor is still available. Otherwise, there'll be a CG cutoff for you.
Yeah, and again, as I wrote in the chat, you should mail admission office and CC AUGSD. I went to them last time. They played a game with me. AUGSD used to say go to admissions office used to say go to AUGSD. So CC both of them and mail karo. ठीक है? Uh, and it's fine if you spam. Just keep sending mails. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, keep
Office
doing
के लिए
that.
admin.
It's actually fine.
Anything to trouble admin. Okay. Don't give a flying flamingo. Just go wild.
मतलब light मत लेना at the end of the day.
So for from a placement perspective, I'll reiterate that again in terms of placements, there are very no finance companies which generally come. But from a PS perspective, the courses that you should have done is FUFA, SAPM, FinMan, BAV, and DRM. So these are the 5 courses which you need to do, which will obviously go towards calculating your offshoot. From a placement perspective, I have not seen, at least up till now, any company which is other than Navi, which has said that they want a finance minor done, or a finance minor is a prerequisite. So, I mean, that is one thing to keep in mind. Very few finance companies do come for placements. Any finance company would prefer somebody who has either interned for 6 months with them, or an MBA student or something of that sort. So, yeah. Which finance courses are known for bad grading? I mean, nothing exactly is bad grading. I mean, if you're in the top 5%, then you would be getting an A. And it all depends on obviously the bell curve and all. But in terms of competition and all 5 courses are as competitive as possible. And I mean, good grading high avs, that's pretty rare. So, but in terms of bad grading, I mean, one of the most difficult courses I can tell you is DRM. So that does have a very, very wide bell curve, and grading is not that great. I mean, if you were to say that on an average, you do get a C grade, but yeah. CG cutoff, like we said, was during my year was 7.2. Last year it was, I had gone slightly lower, but I mean, you can't say anything. Totally depends on supply demand. They would obviously be having a fixed number of students who they want to give the minor to, and depends on how many people apply for it. But I think 7.2 definitely would be good enough. We check with the course. I think it's a dual degree, so probably Vanch or Mallav can take it over. Vanch?
Yes, sorry. I don't know the question.
The question is biomechanical. It's about
Acha, biomechanical. Okay, so there's no prereq course for finance except you'll just have to do FUFA first to do FinMan. Otherwise, you're good to go.
learn finance minor. So like I said, just go through the Zerodha module. You'll get a fair idea of what would be coming. You could obviously go through the handouts, also course handouts, which you will pretty easily get anywhere. And yeah, I mean, that'll be a good idea. And I don't think finance is all about stock markets. There is risk to it. I mean, there are risk roles, there are quant roles. So it's not just the stock market. That is just a very, very small part of what finance is. Doing this doesn't increase our opportunity of landing a better job. I mean, in non-core, I think finance companies pay one of the highest in terms of non-core. So yeah, I mean, obviously it would help you get a better package or increase your pay. I don't know if a good offshoot, like I mentioned multiple times. I mean, if you can end up with 45 plus, then that's great. the higher you get, the better any day. Because even when companies open up their roles for PS, let's say that a company, let's say JB comes and offers only 2 roles, then the top two are going to get it. So it's completely relative again. But getting anything about 45 is good. 48 plus is, I mean, most probably you should get what you want. Again, provided that you have a decent CG. I mean, having anything below 7 obviously is not that great. Can you like get a minor allotment after 2-2, like in 3-1, 3-2? This I think Malaf can take over.
Minor allotment after 2-2. I don't think so. You get minor allotted in like as soon as the minor forms are out. But like I said, we didn't have dualites in my year weren't allowed for a minor. We were asked compulsorily to do a reverse minor. But if you're getting allotments, it will be with the single degree students.
Okay, thank you, Anshan and Ritik. I guess these were the finance questions we had. If there are some more, they can ask on the chat, and if you are there, you can answer. Okay, so now we will be moving for the DS minor doubts. I'll be presenting in a second. Tanmay and Param, please answer these questions.
Yeah, so I got a few doubts. I think, is there any DS minor course I would recommend? I would, okay, I'll say it like this. I won't recommend you to take MLAI because they would be intensive. You have,
I would recommend FDS. Yeah.
I would recommend FDS, taking
Yeah.
FDS. And I'll tell you point blank, you have 3 labs. So I'm, okay, actually, I'm talking only to CS guys, but okay, I'll do that at 9:30. Anyway, so yeah, I won't recommend you to take ML or AI. And both of these courses, not going to be, FDS is being offered. It will be updated in timetable. Timetable will get updated. Don't worry. हो रहा है कल होगा कल you will get mail. Other than that, yeah, cold is not being offered and FDS is being offered instead of cold. So yeah, there was something called, yeah, this one doubt, is ASP a prerequisite for ASM? No, ASP is not a prerequisite for ASM. ASP is ASP is a DS minor elective, and I don't think ASP has been offered for a very long time now.
CGPA is 8.1 to 8.4 ish range. Compared to the other two campuses, BITS Goa's cutoffs are on a higher end. So, and if you fall below the minimum threshold, the situation seems bleak for you right now, I would say. FDS's Foundations in Data Science. It's a compulsory course for a DS minor. I think no reverse minor chances are bleak, but yeah. Taking
But
a DS
again, mail
minor.
karo. Don't take tension.
A minor, there's no official dropping of a minor. You can just choose to not complete a minor and it's automatically dropped. If you have, registered for a minor, pay kar diya doesn't mean anything. Like you can just not complete it. And then disadvantages of taking a DS minor, you might not like it. That could be a possibility. Okay, you just took it for the
You
laws.
will. It
You
is
didn't
math.
like it.
Okay. It has a lot of math.
And then you might lose out on some CG maybe. वैसा भी हो सकता है. Also, when you take a DS minor and you are making an attempt to complete one, you have logged your open electives. Remember that. So your open electives are 5 of them. उसमें you have logged it as DS minor के courses when you are choosing a DS minor.
Oh, yeah.
You might not get chance to take other courses which you might like just because
That is
you
true
took
for
a DS.
any minor. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
that is not like it's just for DS.
You're
Sabke
specializing, so remember that.
And then for CS people, it doesn't happen like that. CS most of the time they're considered as Dell. Some of the courses like ASM is open. It's not a Dell. It's considered as an open elective.
No issues, Soham. Yeah.
So Soham
Having
can
a
split
SOP
it,
in
let them
both
do.
3132, not an issue. You can still complete your minor.
And I guess someone also asked about 2-2 mein kuch to. Yeah, is there any DS minor course which you would, okay, 2-2, okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
FDS, like
FDS, Foundations
that
of
would be
Data Science.
recommended. And for future, like if you don't want to do a DS minor, but you still want some course for DS minor, from DS minor, like a good course, I would recommend maybe ML, because ML is not only a good, it doesn't have a lot of theory, it still has theory, and it also has a lot of programming related stuff. It has a paper reading stuff, and most importantly, it has projects. So it will give you a taste of the deep learning projects that you do. You have something to put on your resume. So I would recommend DL if you do, like in future, not now. If you want to take a course without having a DS minor, DL and AI are nice ones. You get projects out of them apart from studying good courses.
Okay, Tanmay, do you want to talk about this
About what?
reverse minor thing? Or
No, I mean reverse minor क्या ही मतलब main
Okay, yeah, it's
there.
very bleak. I mean, और क्या
If
बोले?
we lock our opels in DS minor but don't finish the minor, can we take watcher? Yes. They don't force you to take courses.
Yeah, no forcing.
Minimum CG again. It's allotment. It's not जो allot होगा वो होगा. There is no prerequisite. They
Yeah,
don't
even if you
ask you
don't
to
know
do a
Python, it's okay. Like, like repeating, a guy just came rank 2 without knowing any proper programming from Mech department. He took DS minor, ML में rank 2 in the course. So there's that's proof enough that if you really are putting in the effort, if you really want to perform good, there's no really restrictions as such. But yeah, you should have interest in maths. The interest has to be there. It's not something you can do. Okay, chalo kar lete hain.
But okay, again, if you are taking DS minor, that doesn't mean you have to go through with doing data science in your career. Okay, you can just do DS minor, complete it, and look at applied data science, not pure say, data science. Applied basically anywhere. If you are working in say some systems field or say some I don't know bio type something, you will have some application of data science in those domains. Isn't it unfair? It's CG. It's based on CG.
Yeah.
That that is a different issue that CS and Phoenix people have high CG. That is the reason more people. Okay, come on, next. Yeah. What is if you are planning to do reverse? Is it better to take too hard? I would highly discourage you from taking machine learning this semester. Not just because it's too hard. This time it's been taken by Aditya sir and Ashwin. Okay, you should see Ashwin sir's ML. It is very intensive. It is very theoretical. It has tutorials. It has labs. It has projects. So it is pretty intensive. If you are ready and up for it, come. No problem. I am here.
Could
We
you
will have fun.
just elaborate your questions a bit? Ameya, like what exactly do you mean by that question? And Shashank, like the internet courses on AI वगैरह, they are meant to sell you courses. So they will have some kind of project component. They will teach you the basics that you need to kind of fool you into कि okay, I understand everything. ये सब I will do a project and आधा code so they will write themselves. You are just running that code and you have done a project. It's going to be something like that on internet. Andrew and GK courses, it goes into theory. But in college, the idea is not to get something out of a student, something a student can show off. The idea is to make sure the student can strive for excellence in that field. So in college, you would be exposed to a like a rigorous course requirements. You will be trained in that field, how to think when given any problem in AI, all the different concepts in AI. So yeah, the aims are very different. So that's why the courses are different, Shashank. Design algos and CP. No, it's not at all related to competitive program is not even related to your normal IT jobs. It's something else on its own. So it's not at all related to data science. It has nothing to do with data science, other than
Data
you are
science,
coding.
I would say there is a pipeline. If you follow that pipeline, most of the times you don't have a lot of issues like beginning ka to part.
So logical algorithms,
I don't
like
think, to be very
all
honest,
algorithms are
I don't
logical.
think any one of us has written पूरा का पूरा code जो लगता है for one deep learning model end to end, like everything, data loading and everything from scratch. We definitely use
I
some
think
sort of
we
internet.
had one of these tutorials in deep learning, like on our time. We had to write everything on our own. I think I remember one of those. Like gradient descent खुद से लिखा था. Light. It's just another. Sorry.
Guys, are you answering the question on the slide?
Yeah. Uh, uh, so, um, yeah. There is not much. scope if you're targeting tech roles. If you take a data science minor, tech roles won't really care if you have a data science minor. And yeah, finance minor, like Ritik just said for that question, open up an IT field. Yes, it will open up more opportunities in the IT field. A lot of dev jobs these days, they have data science as a part of it, and so you could aim for that. But there is no direct, help that going to get from college to get these roles, get these jobs. Off campus ही apply होगा. Yeah. No. Non-CSE. Okay, you need to be very sure as a non-CS student ki, what you want to do when you take data science minor. I know a few guys who really want to get into robotics related. There's this thing called control theory. Control theory means you have an agent. The agent can be like a autonomous car. It can be a small robot. It can be a drone, anything. And how it's being controlled. So it uses reinforcement learning, how you learn from the environment and those things. You can also have computer vision for autonomous division vehicles. You use sensors, various sensors to make some predictions about the car and make decisions regarding control. This but field in particular is mechanical X data science. So it's really helpful if you take a data science minor if you want to get into that field. So this field will, I think, grow over the next 10 years in India. India is quite far behind in this field. Right now, I have a few friends outside of BITS Goa who are directly in this field, and all of them have gotten jobs from foreign companies. There's no company in India which is giving jobs to undergrads yet. So you need to do masters and everything if you want to get job in India. But you can get jobs in foreign directly from an undergrad if you are, mechanical and data science. There's also a huge intersection between electrical and data science. I won't talk about it. You can easily find anything about it. Also, bio and chemistry, वगैरह data science में it's always there. So you need to be very sure what you want to do in future if you are taking data science minor as a non-CS student. Summer vacation as I'm at DO Light. Cutoff for I think it's the same cutoff for you as for all the other people. 8.1 to 8.4. Apply for. You will be given a form and you have to fill the form by the end of 2-2, I think. Bio plus mechanical. Any prerequisite course that I need to take? No, not at all. So for a data science minor, I think you need to. I'm not sure it's possible for you to complete it without the. Yeah, it's not possible for you to complete it without the summer term. But yeah, you can definitely do it over the summer term. No prerequisites. Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah.
Again, reverse dual.
So right now, I know a guy who has done exactly what you want to do, but for him, reverse minor was allowed. So the entire logistics that is allowed, but getting a reverse minor, that is a different question, and I don't think reverse minor will be allowed. But keep trying, keep mailing them. I think it's worth taking FDS in 2-2. You will, it will be your first real data sciences course. It will be like dipping your toe into data science. Agar nahi karna hai, to you will know before your third year starts. Like, okay, this is something that I do not want to do at all. I did not like FDS ka thing at all, and I don't want to continue.
And
you might
FDS
know it earlier.
Is, I would say, scoring. So abs are generally high, so you might get good grades. Don't quote me on this, but yeah.
So yeah, you can take FDS in 2-2. It's not a very difficult course as such. Like secondaries can do it very well, and yeah. We're taking any minor. Can we take any opals? Yeah,
Depends
you can.
on your branch. If it is in your branch, then you can take other courses. If it's not, mostly you can't, because most of your opals would be taken up by.
But you can always do more than 5 opals.
Yeah, this is mostly like personalized, kind of go and look into the bulletin and see how exactly it's happening.
Like you can do an early grad with taking a minor. You can do that. Like your main CS. So for CS people, main CS degree plus DS minor, you can do early grad. So you can take as many opals as you want, like by overloading your semesters, maxing out your semesters. Yeah.
Yes, I'm assuming FDS will be in high
Okay,
demand.
so
So you might
ML
need
and
a
AI, this is a subset. This is a subset of data science. Okay, so data science involves things right down from ranging from Excel sheet pe manipulation. Like you have an Excel sheet or us pe kaam kar rahe ho, something like that. Some people will call it data science. It can even range to the high end research that goes on in companies like Google, वगैरह. That is also data science. MLAI is a subset of data science. MLAI mein you are using computers you are training computers to learn things. That's the entire kind of definition for ML field. You are training a machine to learn new things. Artificial intelligence is again something separate from ML, but very similar. It's about how you develop intelligence in a machine. Learning something through a machine and developing intelligence through a machine, both are different things. So yeah, landing into a better job slash increase in our pay, increase in your pay, not at all possible. So the pay you will get is directly through the PU, like and just because you say, I have a data science minors, look at this, they won't increase your pay. And better job, definitely, if you apply for off-campus jobs, data science minor will help. Some of these recruiters, they will just look into an overview of your entire resume, and they might not look at the courses that you have. So having just one word, minor in data science, might help them, like might help your application. But directly through PU, there's as of now, what I understand right now, there's not much scope. CET India being a single without taking the minor. It is practical. It is definitely practical if you're a CS student. I think half the seats can be taken by non-data science minor people. It's definitely practical, but you will need a good enough PR. And during ad swap, a lot of people just swap it out. So it's definitely practical. For ML, it's true. For DL, it's true. I'm not sure about AI, but I heard that AI, a lot of people just swap it out because they in the beginning. So it should be true. It's practical, yeah. So I'm sure if you want to pursue DS or systems, it won't lock you into anything. You can just choose to not do a DS. But if you do choose to do a DS, yes, it will lock you into DS. However, you can max out your semesters and do more courses than required, and take the systems courses that you like. You can complete your data science and then also take systems courses like real-time systems and whatnot on top of that. It's definitely possible. Ki sab kar lo. But yeah, you can take a minor and then not complete a minor. That's also a possibility if you're unsure. Maths plus Phoenix, do you like being able to do the DS minor? I think there's a couple of maths courses you can take, which will be a part of your maths. How good PR is required to get ML and FDS. FDS is actually a little tough to crack into. ML you can get if you have a good PR.
Again, all the data science courses are pretty much in demand, so it's tough to get into those courses.
If you are not CS, if you're CS, you can get in.
If they are CS, you get that during registration. If you are not CS,
but
you get
for
that
non-CS,
via
you will have
Google
to fill a form after 1 week. You might know about it. So that using that form, getting in is tough. CG cutoff, registration, and try for minor. So try for a minor. Again, that's a reverse minor question you're asking. Not really sure about that. But yeah, you can complete the courses, sure. Yeah, no consequences. It doesn't reflect on your transcript. This guy, took up a seat in DS minor and then didn't complete it. There's nothing like that in your transcript. No consequences at all. You just don't get the degree. That's it. Yes, you
I
can.
have to drop off. If you have any doubt, you can definitely PM me, text me. I'll reply. Okay. Cool. Bye.
Okay. Also, just Yash, could you please, if there are any questions in the chat that I need to answer, just let me know.
Yeah.
From my CG, I will not get DS minor, but I can take those courses as opals, right? Yes, you can. Definitely. if you get into the course, definitely, yeah. Opti and SIA, ideal being ASM this sem. There's 3 will be counted toward DS minor, right? Yes. A score and 2 as electives. Yes, it will be counted. And Opti and SIA are both electives for. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, both are electives and ASM is score. It will be counted.
Okay, so we are done with the questions which were asked
Yeah.
in the form.
Any more questions?
Guys, if you have any questions and which is not answered yet, you can unmute and ask. We'll be closing
Yeah,
the
sure.
session in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Divyam.
Yeah, so any prerequisite knowledge for FDS?
No, not really. It's a M2 based course. So even if you don't remember the M2 a whole lot, the first few weeks will be kind of a revision for M2. So not really. You just need to know, the basics of maths, which is like 12th grade maths. Utna hoga to you will be able to manage. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, Amaya.
Uh, for completing a DS minor, if I do ASM and do the other CS DELs, will my minor be completed without doing any more extra math courses, or there are some which I have to do?
Okay, so yeah, math courses that you have to, yeah, you just have to do ASM, and if you do, machine learning FDS, apart from that, you need to take 2 electives, which can be a non-maths wale, like the maths you are talking about, the code maths, right?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
Opti and all.
definitely. You can take reinforcement learning, computational learning theory, AI, deep learning, NLP, computational neuroscience, all those courses, and complete it. You don't. The only math code course that you have to take is ASM.
And one another doubt I had, can you suggest something for to be done in 2-2 so that like we know or we can get some idea of how DS minor works and all?
I think FDS is a good foundations of data science. It's a good start to your data science, knowledge. It's also something a second year can crack, definitely, and it's a M2 based course. Foundations of data science is linear algebra for DS, so it's a linear algebra course. You will learn about proper linear algebra in depth, like eigenvalues, the calculus. By the way, you also use calculus in DS, linear algebra. You guys must have thought, okay, calculus ये side है, linear algebra ये side है. You use all the things all the time. So सारी चीजें होंगी FDS में. It's a fun course, and it's not that tough. It's mathy, but yeah, I think FDS is something I'd recommend for 2 guys. Yeah, Divyam.
Yeah, so if I don't get FDS this sem because of bad PR, so any other elective course of mine, DS minus, which you would recommend?
I think other than FDS, there's ML. I wouldn't recommend ASM. That you have ASM, you have artificial intelligence. I guess. Do you have a AI right now? No. You have deep learning. I think you should not do deep learning right now, unless you are confident you will be able to do good at it. You have computational neuroscience, which is, I think, you'll be able to pull off computational neuroscience, but you won't be able to experience the full understanding of the course unless you have done some basic ML course. So I think you can do computational neuroscience, maybe next year if it's offered, to understand it very well. But I would say you can go for ASM, because if it was Shravan sir's ASM, it would have been very difficult, but Sahu sir, not sure at all. So it's also a bit of gamble. You can go for ASM if you don't get FTS. And
Yeah.
ASM is also a core course, right? So no harm in
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Shashank.
So DS minor is mathy, right? So are there some areas in DS which are not that mathy? They are
Yeah,
more of
definitely.
basic.
So your deep learning, it will. So the mathy part of it is not the similar to the maths that you do in JEE or you have done in M1, M2, M3, like solving math problems. The mathematics that you study in data science minor, you will use those mathematical concepts to better your intuition in DL. So, for example, in deep learning, you won't have any direct mathematical questions. you won't be asked to use any mathematical tools like differential calculus use karo to solve a problem, nothing like that. But you will have to have a sound mathematical background to understand everything what's going on, to get an good intuition of what's going on. Deep learning is a one good course where you don't need that much maths to complete the course, but you will need it for the background, obviously. um, AI mein you don't need a lot of maths actually. AI is one good course I can say. Like even if you do calculus वगैरह ठीक से नहीं हुआ है, it's okay. AI हो जाएगा. And then uh, what other courses are being offered? I guess computational neuroscience. Computational neuroscience is going to be William Gurnst's textbook, I think, neuronal dynamics. So it's going to be about using spiking neural networks. It's a different kind of neural network than you might have seen before. It will have some maths, but not that high-fi maths. Um, and again, I wouldn't recommend this for second years. This is just general stuff. And reinforcement learning also won't have a lot of maths. I think that answer your question, Shashank? I'm not sure what
Yeah,
you
yeah, it
meant
does.
with maths.
I
Okay.
was a bit afraid about maths.
Yeah. So the ML course will have maths. ASM, FDS are maths base. Other than that, not so much. Yeah. Yeah, Maya.
I had another doubt. Would you recommend taking FDS and net programming into two both?
Yeah, network programming. I wanted to take that course, but and now it is designed for second year students. I would have personally, network programming is just socket programming that he's going to teach, and I would really love to take that course. Like अगर मैं campus पे होता ना अभी this sem, but yeah, I would recommend network programming. Vinayak sir is very good, so he'll teach well, and it's designed for second year students, so you should go for it. It's a good CS Dell to take. And what other course did you mention?
FDS, like can I handle both of them? Are their workload too much?
FDS, yeah, I think FDS workload isn't that much if you study. It's a maths course, so you need to have some practice. So if unless you're leaving everything for the last day, you will fail at FDS. Yeah.
Okay, Amir, ask the last question. We'll close now. Okay, I guess we are done.
No, Vilakshan, no, AI is definitely not a prerequisite for reinforcement learning. And also ML is not a prerequisite for. I don't think any of those three courses are prerequisites for reinforcement learning. Yeah, the ASM has nothing to do with reinforcement learning. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we'll close. Thanks a lot, Param, for being there.
Yeah.
And I thank all the speakers who were there for the meeting. The session was streamed on YouTube, so you guys can refer the YouTube recording anytime you want. And yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot for joining in. Thank you.
All right.